My name is Ginny Shattuck, and I am the owner and one of the key trainers at Heartwood Yoga Institute. We are honored that you are considering our program for your yoga education. And we put together this presentation so you can see a little bit about how we do things at Heartwood to see if we are a good fit for you. Even if we don't become the school that you choose, we believe this program will help you learn a little bit more about the yoga education process, and that will help you to find a school that will truly help you meet your needs. Thanks, and enjoy the program. Before learning about the Heartwood program, it is helpful to learn a little bit about Yoga Alliance designations and how yoga teacher training programs are set up. RYS 200 is a designation given to a school that is registered with Yoga Alliance and has been approved to teach a 200-hour certification program. RYT 200 is the designation a student receives when they graduate from a legitimate RYS school after they register to become a member of Yoga Alliance. Yoga Alliance is very specific about what material must be covered in every RYS 200-hour certification course. They define not only how many hours a training must include, but how those hours should be allocated to cover different competencies. Training in a reputable RYS school assures you'll be covering a wide variety of material in a comprehensive way. It is always wise to go to the Yoga Alliance website to check out the reviews of any school you are interested in before trusting them with your yoga education. These reviews are designed to help people who are shopping for a yoga school to make sure they find one that will do the job in a manner that will meet their expectations. After receiving an RYT 200 certification, a student is qualified to teach yoga anywhere. But those who wish to advance their training sometimes elect to take an RYS 300-hour course to deepen their knowledge. The RYT 200-hour certification, combined with the RYS 300-hour course, makes a yoga teacher an RYT 500-hour. This is a designation that reveals the yoga teacher has an advanced yoga education. When you see an E before the 200 or 500-hour certification, this simply means that the teacher is experienced. An ERYT 200 has to have at least 2 years of experience and 1,000 hours of teaching experience, and an ERYT 500-hour teacher has at least 4 years and 2,000 hours of teaching experience. Out of the 200 required hours of study, Yoga Alliance has determined that only 40 hours of online material in the humanities and anatomy is allowed. The humanities is defined as history and philosophy. Heartwood's program includes 165 hours of in-person training and 35 hours of online coursework that students can do at their convenience. 20 hours of online anatomy and 15 hours of methodology, sequencing, and other supportive coursework is required to fulfill Yoga Alliance requirements. But our online material is not a substitute method for learning important subject matter. Our online material is mostly a reinforcement to help students process and fully understand the subject matter that is often hard to fully grasp in one sitting. We teach all these subjects in person as well to assure students fully comprehend the material and can ask questions and do interactive exercises that will help them understand how to apply the information. Our graduates are also provided a comprehensive online catalog of posture review which outlines the correct way to teach postures, modifications, and other considerations. Students will receive their RYT 200 certification after taking our course, but we find that many deeply appreciate a chance to review and revisit the material later when it is time to put that intellectual understanding into real-life practice. Heartwood not only meets but exceeds all the recommended and required guidelines established by Yoga Alliance for yoga teacher training instructors. All core teachers at Heartwood are seasoned professionals, each with over a decade of experience leading Yoga Alliance trainings. Our staff all have the ERYT 500 designation, as well as having additional certifications and training to add to their expertise. They are licensed massage therapist, cranial sacral therapist, CIAYT certified yoga therapist, Reiki masters, Ayurvedic trained, and more. Most importantly, the staff at Heartwood specializes in yoga teacher training and have taught over 100 programs as a team. Our program has evolved and developed over the years to be cohesive and comprehensive. As an established school with a reputation you can validate, you can trust Heartwood will be here in the future if you have questions, need advice, a reference, or validation regarding your education for future employers or others. For a more detailed bio on each individual teacher on our staff, please visit our website. Unlike big institutions with multiple activities going on simultaneously, or programs with dozens of people in a course, Heartwood is a small and intimate facility focused on teacher training on a very personal level. We keep our programs to an average of 12 students, and other than a few classes a week where the public comes to practice, the grounds are devoted exclusively to making the teacher training experience deeply inspirational and personally transformational. There's another video you can access through our website that provides a tour of Heartwood in a more detailed way, but here we wanted to offer a brief peek into our facility. Our yoga teacher trainees enjoy practicing in beautiful, spacious yoga studio spaces with soaring windows and all the props and materials necessary for learning. The yoga studio is filled with natural light. It's equipped with 17 aerial yoga stations and filled with all kinds of props that we will be using in the training. The yoga studio also has an attached kitchen where students can grab a quick snack or a piece of fruit for breaks. Heartwood also has a large fresh air yoga pavilion providing a more naturalistic setting. The pavilion is fully equipped with props and has a window system to close off the space when the weather makes this the best choice. Both spaces are air conditioned and feature an audio-visual setup for lectures and presentations. The grounds offer plenty of spaces to journal, walk, study, or practice. This includes an award-winning chakra garden, a medicine wheel with practice decks, an 11-circuit labyrinth, and a bamboo meditation grove. Heartwood also has a shamanic wishing tree and an elements fire pit with seating where we do many of our conversations. We also have a yoga library where students can study or probe hundreds of special interest books on yoga, and then we also have an art workshop where students can work privately on a self-awareness project we will be assigning. An intimate meditation gazebo is a small gathering place for conversations, meditation, or just a lovely place for a student to visit to get away for a bit of privacy or personal journaling. The first thing we do when we begin a program is introductions and a tour of Heartwood so students can get to know the tribe and the facility. Each student is provided with a comprehensive manual, and at the front of the manual is an hour-by-hour syllabus outline, so students always know what to expect and how to be prepared for each segment or meeting. While we do make adjustments in respect to the students' energies or issues, keeping to this outline assures we stay on track in a positive way and cover everything important to your yoga education. Some students sign up for teacher training with years of experience and a preconceived notion of yoga, while others are newer to the practice but ready to deepen their relationship with yoga. To be sure there are no gaps in understanding, we begin unfolding yoga at the very beginning with the question, what is yoga? Exploring both the classical and contemporary definition. Then we proceed to break down the 8 limbs of yoga and discuss why these disciplines are important for a yoga teacher to learn. We have a short online course on the 8 limbs of yoga, and the link is attached for those interested in seeing this overview. We next discuss the history of yoga and the great texts that are the foundation and origination of yoga. This sets a foundation that we will build upon in the course. We also go over an introduction to Sanskrit to help students understand and pronounce the names of the postures and practices they will be learning. What at first might seem foreign and confusing quickly starts to make sense. The manual has pictures and descriptions of all the postures you'll be learning. We teach the 3 classical sun salutations, important for sequencing classes, but also to provide us with a flow sequence for practice teaching. We introduce poses by category, such as supine poses, back bends, inversions, balance postures, or seated postures. Each posture is taught in the most traditional Hatha Yoga tradition, but we sometimes show variations and point out common stylistic differences with other types of styles and methods of yoga. We share modifications for each pose, hands-on adjustments, and tricks and recommendations for how to teach the pose to others, including when and why each pose would be valuable and appropriate. Students will begin teaching one another on day one, which helps reinforce the material and allows for hands-on practice. This develops good communication skills and teaches the students about cueing that will be needed when they teach others. At the end of this presentation, we invite you to watch a sample video of how we teach comprehensive posture focus at Heartwood Yoga Institute. This is a sample from our online catalog that students will get once they graduate for a reinforcement and to revisit the material at a later date. Students often dread anatomy, fearing the subject will be difficult to learn, especially if they haven't been in school for years. Anatomy is taught in person with lectures, slideshows, exercises, and discussions to keep students engaged and to make the subject of anatomy applicable to yoga instruction. But our anatomy material is also provided to the students online in a series of courses with images, explanations, pictures, and practice tests. Students can take the online anatomy overview at their leisure to fully understand the body and its systems. This will be important to understand proper alignment and how to sequence classes for different body types, circumstances, injuries, or goals. For a sample of our online anatomy teaching style, you can follow the link at the end of this course to our anatomy introductory course. To be a great yoga teacher, you must be a true yogi first. Sutra study is vital to understanding the true meaning of yoga as the path to transformation and self-actualization. So we spend at least 30 hours reviewing the core concepts of yoga, such as non-attachment and karma, and exploring both the classical and contemporary meaning of the yamas and niyamas. In addition to formal lectures and explanations and readings we assign, the tribe will share conversations about life experiences and interpretations of the sutras. This way, the wisdom of yoga becomes more than an intellectual concept and becomes an inner knowing that we begin applying to our own lives. Students are given a beautiful yoga journal gift to use for self-reflection about these discussions and concepts. Journaling prompts are provided to help you know where to start exploring these teachings for yourself. We also introduce an art therapy project called Broken Bowls. We have a short ceremony to begin a project that students will work on privately after hours or between sessions. Our broken bowls become a metaphor for our lives, and we will use them as a conversation starter for intention setting later. As the tribe connects and learns about holding space for others, each will share their story, and we will use the Yoga Sutras as a roadmap for embracing self-acceptance, compassion, and an enhanced relationship to the world and truth. Pranayama and meditation, dharana and dhyana, are subjects we study comprehensively through lecture, practice, and exercises to help students understand the concepts not just intellectually but experientially. Students will learn the science and practice of these disciplines as well as learning a variety of meditation and pranayama techniques. It is important not just that students know these yoga basics, but that the information is integrated, so we continually cross-reference disciplines, learning yoga from the Koshic model. The energetic body is hugely important to yoga as a healing modality. Students will experience gong meditations and learn about bells, singing bowls, and gongs as they relate to sound healing. They will get hands-on practice working with these instruments as well. Chakras are taught with reference to nadis and meridian lines in a workshop that introduces exercises, concepts, singing bowls, essential oils, and other stimulants to balance and soothe the energetic body while understanding how these affect our health and wellness. An RYS 200-hour course is considered a foundational course, so we don't have time to cover every element of yoga comprehensively, but we will introduce the basics of Ayurveda, and students will participate in an Agnihotra ceremony that heals the earth. This way they learn both about ceremony and some of these authentic practices and how they may be incorporated into their future teaching. To further our energetic studies, we devote 6 hours to Reiki 1 certification. This coursework introduces basic Reiki concepts and reinforces how the mind and setting intentions can impact one's health and wellness. Reiki is a perfect complement to yoga, teaching not only self-healing, but how to be present, compassionate, and mindful when working with others. Some students join us with previous Reiki training expecting this program to be a review, but they often find we introduce this material in a unique way, relating it to yoga and our role as healers. Each day we begin with a yoga class celebrating the broad diversity of yoga. Daily practices will include different types of yoga, such as yin, restorative, flow, gentle yoga, or yoga nidra. We bring in guest teachers to provide an authentic Ashtanga and Kundalini class as well, so we can compare and contrast the many different wonderful forms of yoga available today. Some of our classes will be focused on one concept, such as hip openers, a wall class, strap or block class, partner yoga class, nature yoga at the medicine wheel, or yoga on the labyrinth. The variety of yoga classes reveal that in every yoga experience, universal concepts prevail, but there are limitless ways to present these concepts to others. We even schedule a beach yoga class, and this way we learn a little bit about teaching in different environments, but also the relationship between yoga and nature. Throughout the program, students will practice teaching one another. This makes them more comfortable with leading a yoga sequence and hones their communication and delivery skills. To teach is to learn, and there is no better way to expand your knowledge than to put it to the test. Practice teaching also helps us to see where we may need more work, while also revealing each student's unique gifts, and this helps them find their unique teaching voice and confidence for when they are on their own later. Toward the end of the program, sequencing is addressed, after which our daily practice becomes student-led with several teacher trainees working together to lead a practice. The students receive feedback from both the tribe and the core instructors, and this helps to refine their teaching skills. Many times, just one experience of formally leading a yoga class is all it takes to empower and inspire a new teacher. They discover that even though they are nervous about putting their skills to the test, they actually know more than they realized. Before graduating, we do what we can to assure you get the most out of your yoga training and prepare you to share what you've learned with others. We will review yoga standards and ethics and the role Yoga Alliance plays in the development of yoga today. We also discuss changing trends in the emerging field of yoga therapy and IAYT and other opportunities for yoga teachers. We present a 3-hour Business of Yoga workshop that teaches everything you need to know to begin your career as a yoga teacher, including how to keep your certification valid, whether or not additional training is necessary or important for you depending on your goals, and we review the legalities and important considerations of setting up a yoga business, whether you will be teaching independently, in a studio, or opening a yoga business of your own. The Business of Yoga workshop covers when and where you might teach, what to charge, and different expectations and requirements for working in a health club, senior facility, corporate environment, or yoga studio, or even private lessons on your own. We will talk about ideas for marketing and resources for managing and for establishing your new career. Knowing you are soon to begin a new journey as a yoga teacher, we also schedule a few hours for a photo shoot of our graduates on the grounds of Heartwood. With the bulk of our work behind us, we enjoy some time together on the beautiful property so we can send you off with dozens of beautiful pictures. As yoga teachers ourselves, we can pose you in carefully aligned postures or meditation shots and take a few yoga-oriented business headshots, which you can use in your marketing materials or on a website or on your Facebook page, or even just to have for prosperity and to remember your time at Heartwood. Once you graduate, you'll be invited to join our Heartwood Alumni Facebook group, where you can reach out to others with questions or share information about your ongoing yoga development. In this private forum, we post videos and information, jobs and ideas to support your training and career in yoga. We reserve 16 hours of the training for specialty certification, which we believe will enhance your yoga skill set. In the 200-hour program, students have a choice of aerial yoga certification or chair yoga certification. Both are 2 days and include valuable information that can be applied to general yoga classes. For example, in our aerial yoga certification, we feature a 2-hour physiology of inversion lecture, which reviews all the considerations of inversions, whether you are in downward facing dog or in a yoga hammock. You will learn about the effects of inversions on blood pressure, engaging in the parasympathetic nervous system, improving immune system, dealing with vertigo, etc. In chair yoga, we cover considerations when teaching older populations, like arthritis, osteoporosis, and balance issues. Local students in our program simply enroll in whichever course best supports their plans and goals as a yoga teacher. For immersions, we schedule a specific elective for each session on the last 2 days. Any students who wish to leave early to skip the elective can do so if they are willing to return another time to take the alternative course to complete their required hours. Both courses have much to offer. Sometimes our advice is to stay and take whichever elective is scheduled for that session because both courses are valuable experiences, and it is nice to complete all the requirements for your RYT certification in one visit in case anything comes up to interfere with your completing the work later. You can always enroll in a weekend course and join us in the future for the alternate course if you're interested, and those students who choose to return to Heartwood for the 300-hour course will have the opportunity to take either of these courses once again. If you have any questions about electives or options, we can discuss them when you enroll. For an example of the Yoga Alliance core competencies and how the Heartwood staff teaches them, please visit any of the links on this page to get a sample of our teaching style. You can also find more classes and resources such as this on our website. Namaste, and thank you for joining us for this program. We do hope you'll join us someday for your yoga teacher's training. But if not, may your yoga journey, wherever it lands, be filled with inspiration, introspection, and wisdom. Namaste.